Nigeria's foremost anti-corruption civil society organizations, numbering over 100, troop out on the streets of Lagos with thousands of their members and supporters in continuation of their protest against politicization of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) and disobedience of court order and infringement on human rights on Nigerians. The activists insist that EFCC chairman Abdulrasheed Bawa be sacked if he thinks he is above the law.
It is a case that can affect anybody at any time. A situation, in fact, I would have still been in prison if authorities have not obeyed some rules of law. Maybe I wouldn't have left school, okay? And many of our comrades wouldn't have left university if not because the court's orders and court judgments have to be obeyed. So when somebody in the EFCC or any anti-graft agency or any agency for that matter feels that it's above the law and that he will go to court, he will run to court, if the court judgment favors it, he will implement it immediately. But when the court judgment goes against his wishes, he will now want to disobey it without any remorse. And that is what is called impunity. Any rule that allows impunity can lead the country to anarchy. When you have a state of lawlessness, when you have a state of anarchy, then nobody is safe. As a matter of fact, the foreign investors that has been sought after will not want to come when they are not sure that if courts of the law give their own verdict, that MDAs will obey it. Okay, so it should not be a bad example of what authorities should be. EFCC should continue to be a shining example of what anti-corruption agencies should be. That is why, it is because we even love EFCC that we are doing all this. We are giving them opportunity to obey the course of law and show adequate remorse so that at the end of the day, other MDAs will not feel that because they are in government, they can do anything and get away with it. That is not a well-organized society. If within this week and maybe a few other days, the person has not resigned or be removed, then there will be what I called protest without end until he's removed from that position.
It's important to put into perspective that this is a week-long activity. We are not backing down on this protest until the needful is done. We started with a press conference on Friday, a protest on Saturday, another protest today, and we'll continue to sustain this until the court of law becomes a respectable organ of government. He who comes to equity must come with clear hand. If Bawa is the head of the EFCC that goes to court to obtain court injunctions and court orders to detain and to prosecute perceived criminals in the polity, he cannot also continue to disobey the same court of law. If you must be beneficiary of court process, you must be willing to submit yourself to the same. So if Bawa continues to flagrate the decision of the court, we are saying it is unacceptable, it's against our democratic norm, and until the needful is done, we'll continue to have this protest until our democratic system is respected.
Being indicted by the courts, and unfortunately, he kept disobeying court orders. The last time the court said he should be remanded in prison custody for court contempt. The man kept on doing his work as business as usual. We are saying, as Democrats, the courts must be respected. Nobody is above the courts. If you are not contented with the ruling of the court, there are things to do. Among them is to challenge that ruling. To be violating courts' orders is like undermining democracy. It's like telling citizens to embark on anarchy, and anarchy will not help us. We need to respect democratic institutions. The court is one.
You cannot have an institution that solely rely on the court, to enforce its actions, disobeying the same court. It is always very quick for the EFCC to approach the court to seek convictions, to seek prosecution, to even seek detention orders. But over time, the court has continued to give rulings give instructions, and the commission under this current chairman has become known for flagrantly disobeying the court of law. And what we are saying is very simple. You cannot continue to undermine the same court while you are running to the same court. This is not just about the call for the removal of Bawa as the EFCC chairman. We are also challenging the courts today to stop entertaining matters brought before it by the EFCC until the EFCC starts accepting, the ruling of the court.
They insisted that EFCC under Bawa had turned itself into a sensational media agency, churning out deliberate misinformation on almost a daily basis to strengthen a political cause, adding that responsible civil society organizations would not fold their arms and watch the country's global anti-corruption outlook slip into a mess, all in the name of anti-democratic tendencies of a few recalcitrant leaders. And on politics,